What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and it looks like Fortnite is going to allow some select content creators such as Nick30 to play an hour of Chapter 7 early on November 19th. So in today's YouTube video, we'll be recapping all the information you need to know and talking about how interesting this actually is and what it could mean for the future of Fortnite in terms of like the whole entire ecosystem and all the hype up they do for different seasons, chapters, etc. So earlier today, we actually got this video you can see on screen that actually ended up playing, saying signal location what I said in coordinates, now playing 0 hour, Chapter 7, Fortnite After Dark with Q&A, which gets renamed to Q&U, maybe instead of question and answer, it's questions and unanswers, or whatever, who actually knows, and then early access one night only, and then November 19th, 2025. Now, that clip is very interesting for a few reasons. Firstly, why did they change Q&A to Q&U? Is it really going to be something where they're going to allow content creators to ask Epic Games questions and then they're just gonna like shrug their shoulders and be like, maybe there's something here, but maybe there's not. I guess it really just kind of waits to be seen. But the more important thing that kind of got mentioned here and was spotted was the fact that they mentioned a specific set of coordinates. Now, if you go into Google Maps or wherever else and you properly input the coordinates, it actually leads you to the Hollywood sign. There's been a lot of leaks and stuff regarding the next chapter of Fortnite involving a Nevada-themed area, you know, Area 51 type of thing or whatever else. Maybe some type of like, you know, Fallout-esque thing or whatever else they could have actually planned for it, but a lot of little leaks here and there regarding the next map, and a lot of leaks regarding upcoming collaborations, such as like James Bond's. That was something that was supposed to come to Fortnite over and over and over again that I've heard about here and there, you know, in the Fortnite community on Twitter and everything else. But despite all of this, we haven't really seen too much, so who knows what could actually be going on when they mention the Hollywood sign as an actual coordinate. My current theory is that maybe they're going to do some weird promotional thing for Chapter 7, where not only do content creators who are in this little event like Nick30 get to play the season a little bit early, or I guess the chapter a little bit early, but maybe they're playing it while on the Hollywood sign. I mean, who knows? Maybe this ends up being some like collaboration announcement with Dispatch or something. I highly doubt that one. That was just kind of like thrown out there because, you know, I played episode 1 and I saw they were kind of had like the whole Hollywood sign thing going on in it. But it is something that's interesting to see them going ahead and doing and kind of trying to hype up and advertise. So I'd love to hear in the comments down below a few questions, actually. You know, I just want to get a discussion going. Firstly, what do we think about them going about, you know, this whole entire early access to new seasons thing? I know there's been some leakers on social media who are actually very upset by the whole entire, you know, content creators being able to play the new seasons and get footage early, because it does kind of ruin the ability for some of these leakers to go ahead and post leaks ahead of time for the new chapter. But at the same time, I think it's cooler that we actually get opportunities like this for some of the people who are higher up there, you know, with Epic in terms of like good relations or whatever. And I think it's a good benefit for most people because it allows us to see actual gameplay of the new chapter instead of seeing something like, you know, maybe a random image that was taken off of a phone or in a low quality or whatever else, or chopped up into 20 pieces. And that's not dissing any content creators or leakers or anything like that. I just think that if we're going to see content about a new chapter or new season anyways, I would prefer it just to, you know, be that higher quality, right? You know, all kind of drop at the same time instead of being something where it might be a variety over like a varied quality due to the fact that Epic Games, you know, or when it comes to leaks or whatever else, they typically don't always have the highest quality available because it just goes off of what content creators, what leakers get sent to them. At the same time, though, we're seeing this huge shift with Epic Games in terms of how they actually interact with the community. They've started, you know, trying to communicate a lot more in terms of hotfixes and changes they're doing here and there. They've started doing these little events with content creators, people in the Support a Creator program being able to have Fortnite Friday events, which honestly, have they really even done any of those recently? I feel like we got that one or like 2 Fortnite Friday events and then they just kind of vanished out of existence and we got nothing since that. But, you know, maybe there's still some going on I just haven't kept up with or something like that. So it's this interesting shift overall of just seeing Epic Games try interacting differently with the community, you know, trying to change up how they're doing certain things in order to maybe get more hype towards some of the stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see as they continue releasing more and more game modes in the game, such as that Disney mode, the Warner Brothers mode, etc., how they actually go about interacting with the community, how they actually end up hyping it up even more, and just how they kind of go about everything in the future, because it does feel like we're in this shifting period for Epic Games and Fortnite, where a lot of the ways that they used to act and a lot of the ways that I'm used to them acting, because, you know, I've leaked this game for literal years, ever since I was like 15, 14, it's all changed over time, right? You know, that could obviously happen due to new management, leadership, whatever else, but it does seem like they have different motivations for how they're trying to interact with the community and how they're trying to promote these different modes, these different events, seasons, chapters, etc. And hopefully that's a good thing, you know. I'm not ever going to diss Epic Games for, you know, trying to change some stuff. I will say that I will diss them if there's a change that I think is kind of unneeded, like how they're handling sidekicks, you know, the whole entire buy multiple situation, which they have been mentioning that in surveys, being like, how do you guys feel about this? But I'm still going to, at the same time, be happy if I see this game, you know, go in a good direction, you know, especially with leadership and how they interact with the community, even if, you know, in the future, I'm not like a Fortnite leaker or something, and I'm just an old man yelling at his lawn, telling people to get off of it. But with that said, I think I've yapped enough about this whole entire situation and the little hype up for potentially seeing Chapter 7 gameplay early. If you enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing to support the content I create, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another upload. So until then, peace out.